Welcome to the Tearing It Up podcast. I'm your host, Taryn. We'll be tearing it up, tearing it down, and tearing it apart, dissecting all things related to those who deviate from the standard. From leaders of their industry to leaders of mediocrity, and maybe a gear review or two thrown in. We shoot the shit and let the conversations flow, so if that's not your style, this may not be for you. Otherwise, listen in. Hope to light a fire in you somehow.
Okay. Looks like we're getting some good sound here compared to last time.
I was a little silent, even though I thought I was loud.
I think you just have to talk loud, too.
Hello, I'm here.
We are here. We're here at the Sturdy Dirty on site. Live recording, but not live because it's not going to be to you live.
Yeah. It'll be a few days later.
But we are live podcasting, checking out the scene, hopefully going to talk to some racers, some vendors. We've got Hillary and Becca here. Hey. Becca, our dear friend who we've been wanting to get on the pod for a while. Hopefully, too, we can cancel out some of the other sounds, but we'll just see how this all sounds.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun.
It's exciting. It's our first IRL live on scene.
Yes, live on scene. You know, I guess that's why headphones would be good, because then we could actually hear like what is
And be loud and obnoxious to everyone around us.
Well,
but also,
we just know what's coming in through here, like how much sound is, like the music, the other jibber jabber, but we'll try to stay close to the microphone here. So
But also bear with us. It's our first.
it's our first. It is our first. We are actually set up right next to the Smith tent here. One of our pals is working with Smith. She's our rep, and we're going to talk to these ladies too and just get a little insight on what it's like being a vendor here at the Sturdy Dirty and just all the shit.
First off, let's talk about your race, dude. You raced.
I did race, and I just hit it on mute for a second. Oh, here comes some racers right now. Whoa! All of them. I think we've got some pros and experts coming in. The categories, I think, are kind of mixed now coming in. So we're set up right next to the finish line. Super fun to see these ladies ripping through here. So my race, yeah, it was fun. I did drop down from the beginner to the light, like I talked about last week of maybe doing, and I feel really good about that choice.
Yeah. Same.
I think that I had a lot more fun doing that like flowy section of the course and not as much climbing. And yeah, I wasn't trying to win or anything.
And you were all smiles when you came off that trail, dude.
I was smiling. I was smiling on the up. I was like, oh, I hope I get some good pics from this. And oh man, we got Bailey right here from Smith. We're super excited. Say hi, Bailey.
Nice to see you, Taryn. It's been a while.
I know, it has been a while. I really hope this audio turns out well.
It will.
It's gotta be
With a little
something.
faith.
Just keep watching. A little faith,
Yeah.
right? So Bailey is working with Smith. You're a rep, right?
Yep.
What's your territory?
We did the Pacific Northwest, so Washington, Oregon, part of Idaho, and Alaska.
Oh, nice. Cool. All of Alaska?
Yep, all
Does that
including
mean-
Southeast.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
You get to go up there often to account, or what do you do?
So so in our little rep group, I do key account support. So I do REI, Evo. We do some stuff at Nordstrom, and we support Amazon too.
Very cool. Yay. So this is your first time with Smith at the Sturdy Dirty?
I came a couple years ago, but we were in a slightly different location. So first time at this spot, and this is really far superior.
It's so cool. I was so surprised to see all the vendors. So we're here at Raging River. Is it a state park? Is it Raging?
What's it called? Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, Suquamish Point Park. I used to come up here as a teenager and, be a hoodlum. So it's near and dear to my heart. I grew up in North Bend, so it's fun coming out.
Perfect spot. Yeah, I'm so happy to see all the vendors. It's just my first time at the Sturdy Dirty, so I'm really excited.
Oh, you really sent it.
Yeah, really sent it.
First time, let's race, let's get it done.
Totally. I've been wanting to do it for years, and so finally did. And I mean, even though I dropped down a category than I planned on, I was still happy. Then I get to spend time doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, having my friends come and support me. I was starting to feel almost like FOMO that I wasn't actually going to get to hang out with them.
You're gonna
I was
have
like, oh
plenty
my
of time
god,
to
I'm
hang
gonna
out.
like not be done until like 4 if I do this and that, and I just wanted to be able to do this and hang.
No, I haven't. I'll take it. New koozie.
Yes.
Pretty stoked. I sometimes keep my phone in a koozie, so it's gonna be a new phone koozie.
I do that too.
I just asked the bike fitter over at the other tent to come over in 5 minutes and talk to us. So we're
Perfect.
gonna have a bike fitter here,
Awesome.
and he'll also be our first male.
Oh, go! Wow. Exciting. Awesome.
So what are you guys doing here, Smith, the tent? What's your setup like?
Yeah, so we've been supporting the Sturdy Dirty for, I would have to ask Sophia, a few years for sure. We're one of the title sponsors for this particular event. And that's Mogul Monster.
Mogul, oh
Yeah,
my god.
great boy. Our rep dog barking at a cute Weimaraner.
Love it.
But we always just come and table and just show support mostly. We love chatting with all the other vendors and just showing off some of our new product and letting people try things on. The sunglasses, everybody loves a good shield for riding, so it's fun. People will crack their helmet and be like, oh my gosh, I need to look at a new one, figure out what style I want, what size I am. So yeah, just hanging out and mostly just doing the vibe.
That's awesome. So it's all try-on stuff, no selling, right?
Correct, yeah. All try on. It's just
I think
most
that's
of our
nice.
events we just kind of table and show the product.
I like that because, so for me, working in a retail shop, people come and try stuff on, but it's like, they have a pro deal or something like that. So you're like, oh, cool, I'm just going to try this on and leave and go buy it somewhere else.
Right, no
so it's
pressure.
nice that here it's like, no, we're actually here for you to try it on, get your size right,
Buy it
find
where
your
you want
style,
it. Yeah,
and then
exactly.
go to your local retailer or online or whatever your deal is.
Exactly.
And like, so just no pressure for you either.
Yeah,
So-
and it makes it set up and all that. Like, Sophia works so hard to get the booth up and like you got the sandbags and just all the things that you need to be, because sometimes it's windy, it's raining. We're going to Northwest Tune-Up Festival next weekend up in Bellingham, so that's going to be huge. There's all sorts of music. I think that's going to be crazy. So this is a good like warm up to
get
that.
into the season of shows or events rather.
Yep,
Where will
exactly.
that one be in Bellingham?
I think it's downtown, and then it's at the pump track too, which I can't remember the name of that venue, but I know part of it's downtown, right there on the water.
Nice.
So it should be a blast, and the riding's up at what's it called? Galby. Thank you. I was gonna say Doothy.
Oh yeah, that's all I know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anything
Up in
anymore
Galveston,
around here. I can't
so-
say it anymore because I never even I started biking when I was in Tahoe, so I never really biked the Northwest a couple times. But, so that's also that helped me with my category choice of I feel like, oh, I'm from the Northwest, I should be used to this or that, and I'm like, but I didn't bike here, so I'm not used to these biking conditions. Really, I just have an ego.
If it's on your trails,
That'll get you places.
yeah, exactly. If it's new trails, it can be so intimidating just riding by yourself.
Yeah.
So let alone having a group of people. But I'm sure you saw the people here are so supportive of each other. All the women. It's all fun. I mean, the pro riders are a little bit more intense. For sure.
To be expected.
But I think at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, and you see some of these signs that are just hilarious. I saw a girl wearing a slug on her helmet earlier. The slug girl. I think I said
There's a dragon.
slug, or something
dragon
dumb.
yeah.
Something dumb. Yeah, exactly.
And there's people all along the trail. It was super cool. I mean, since I did the light category, it was a short trail. So I know even throughout all the other ones, there's more people around. There was a gorilla. A guy is a gorilla.
Nice. I saw the Sasquatch.
Which thank God he was just standing there and didn't pop out of it, because I almost felt haunted house vibes. Oh my God, I'm gonna come around the corner and see something.
There's a chainsaw guy.
I'm terrified and eat shit off my bike.
Did you do the trike race on the lake?
No. No, I think they said that, I don't know, Becca and Hillary and maybe Amber heard too that it was the experts or pro categories that were going to maybe do that.
Okay.
That's fun. There was a aid station up there because I was worried I wasn't going to hit any of them. I want to see how all that
what's
is.
going on.
There was a nice mixture of tequila and Gatorade up there. It's really delicious. Lots of treats. Oh, look, there's another dragon. Oh, so I don't know if they're a whole crew themselves, but yeah, everyone's super supportive here. So it was really really fun.
Lots of bright colors.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Lots
that.
of wigs.
Yeah, totally.
Lots of fun sunglasses and shirts and shorts, and yeah, it's
It's a vibe. Yeah.
And the
it
weather
is.
was freaking perfect.
Oh, I know. Even right now, like the
Yes.
sun is coming out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say when you mentioned like having the sandbags and the setup and all that, because you never know what the weather's gonna be like last night. So we camped here on site. There's a bunch of people camping, and it got real windy all of a sudden.
It does get windy
at
on the
night, though,
fringe.
after dark, and I was like, oh no. And then we saw some like possible lightning in the forecast this morning from 8 to 9, and then we felt a little drizzle, and the clouds, it's what, 2 o'clock, and the clouds are just starting to break and really open up. The blue sky's coming, the sun is coming, so really great timing with weather-wise. Everyone, I think, got their climb in before
Yes,
it was
before it got
melting.
hot.
Because I did a pre-ride Wednesday, and I was fucking dying.
yeah.
It was so hot, so...
So you said you've done multiple years with the Sturdy Dirty. It has been at Tiger Mountain previously, and I was thinking about it. I was like, how would that work out logistically, because it's limited space?
Yeah, it's a little bit more spread out. Definitely the parking lot is kind of like your main hub, and then there's like the different staging areas are kind of, I would say, more spread out than here.
Yeah.
Course-wise. I think this spot is great because it has so much grass for camping.
Yeah.
And it's definitely more, to me, it's more of like that kind of festival feel. Where you have like the amphitheater and the kind of slope down into the grass, and yeah, I'm glad they came back to this location.
Yeah, it's
I'm super
really
stoked to have it
cool.
at Raging River again.
You said Smith has been the title sponsor for how long?
Yeah, one of the title sponsors. I would have to double check a couple years running. at least. So we definitely like to support. We have a whole team of Northwest riders that we support, and Smith is based in Portland, so a lot of crossover with our athletes and our designers and our product people. So yeah,
cool.
it's definitely a rider-informed company, which is really fun.
That's
So,
awesome.
We just like talking to the people.
Yeah, you're talking to the people now.
That
Some
are
of the
using
people.
the product
Yeah.
in real
And
time.
they're stoked about it.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
and that's super fun.
I've been biased to Smith helmets for a long time for snowboarding and biking and whatnot. And the glasses. I have some on there now.
Yeah, perfect. I got sunglasses, so I'm wearing my prescription glasses.
That's awesome.
Still getting used to that summer vibe, huh?
I know, seriously. Well, it was so cloudy this morning, so
Yeah.
I just was like driving here and getting, making sure we have everything that we need. So, yeah, I rode my bike down here with my camp chair. That honestly wasn't super easy.
Yeah.
So I like ride up a hill and I'm like, trying to hold on.
Positioning. I've biked with my paddleboard before, and I'm like, this is not ideal.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
We did that at Mount Hood one time. Hillary and I were fun. We brought all the things to Mount Hood. There was a race, and so she got, her bike was brand new. Oh, really? She was supposed to return them, but
We stole some pedals at the bike race.
she had just gotten her bike. They didn't come with pedals. We packed it up to Hood anyways, and there's a bike race going on, and we show up and we're talking, so I'm like, where can I get some pedals? He's like, well, actually, I got some. They're alone, and we said we were doing the race. Oh my gosh.
Don't tell.
So it's too late now. So long. But yeah.
in the cloud.
Yeah. It's in the cloud. It is in the cloud.
One of
we've
our-
done a lot since then. Oh yeah.
One of our regional athletes just finished, Tilly. She's 14. I don't know her last name. I should find out, but she is an absolute badass.
Oh, man.
And our coworker
14?
met her up in Bellingham with Hannah, doing the huge jump line. Yeah, I'm sure she probably did really good in her class.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah, I've seen some young girls here that I'm like, whoa, there was a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old pedaling behind me in mine, and I was just
awesome.
like, that is so cool. You guys are starting
Like, I wish we would
now.
have had this kind of thing when we were growing up.
I know. I'm like,
I'm
this
so stoked for the next generation of riders and females especially.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was like, okay, like it's not even their first races. Maybe the 12-year-old's first race. I can't remember.
They're like, oh, we do it all the time.
Yeah, I'm like, it's my first race, and I just turned 35, and like, you guys are doing this at 9 and 12. That's so awesome because,
That
like I
is.
said, the biking scene I feel like has majorly changed since we were kids, and then especially for women. So it's super cool to see like all the young girls here, and there's a lot of the men supporting their women and stuff too. So that's awesome. But yes. Oh, where'd Amber go? Oh, there she is. Oh, yeah. So she's got our bike fitter. We're gonna have a little chat with, see what he's doing around here. Bailey, thank you so much.
Thank you, Taryn. Have a great rest of your trip. Thank you.
Getting married. Yeah. Congrats, Bailey. Hi, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
I'm Taryn.
Blake,
Blake, nice to meet you.
you as well.
Blake is a bike fitter out of.
Snohomish. I work in Linwood.
Oh, nice. Cool. And so
Where you
is this your, well, I live in Truckee, California.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice. And you
Yep.
made the drive up.
I did. Yeah. I'm from Tacoma originally, so it's coming up for a lot of reasons. You know, this worked out to be a good time for the race. My birthday was a couple days ago. My whole family is up here. Thank you. So it was just like one big family visit, race, birthday trip. So yeah, glad I could make the trip.
Packing it all in.
Yeah, packing it all in for sure.
This is a good race to come up for.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do it for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you're there.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Experience Momentum.
Cool.
Yeah.
So is it that's in Linwood? Does it have multiple locations or
Yeah,
what?
we have one in Fremont, which is right down the street from the Evo flagship place.
Okay.
It's like in between there and Fremont Brewery, basically. And then we have a new clinic that opened in Mill Creek.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds like things are expanding, going up.
Yeah, 3 locations. And
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool place.
So how long have you guys as a company been at the Sturdy Dirty? Is this your first year?
year.
Oh, cool.
First year here. I came with my wife. My wife did her first mountain bike race last year here.
Woo!
And I was like, we have to do this.
Absolutely.
This is so fun. So I'm a big mountain biker, grew up racing, all that kind of stuff. So it's just cool to get a tent here and just be here and try to support. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I rode by this morning as I was like picking up my packet, doing things, getting ready, and I was like, oh, wait a second. And I saw the tables out, so I'm like, what are you guys up to? Because I had a bad crash about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, what
So
happened?
I went, over a rock that was not a rollover, so did not have the speed. So yeah, just went like kind of straight down, landed on my shoulder, neck, like compressed a lot, broke my helmet a lot.
But no broken collarbone.
No broken anything. It
That's
felt
good.
like I may have a rib out of place or it's just real sore, but yeah, they poked around on me there and definitely in those couple minutes felt real good, and I was like, I wish I could be here for like an hour and do a lot more. So I've been to a couple events where they've had like massage therapists or sports medicine and trainers on site, but it adds so much value, I feel like, to the event. And then of course it's like people realize they can come to you for help.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really easy way to say that we're, working, but just get to do the things we're passionate about.
Yeah.
That's really what our company's all about. It's just doing the things we're passionate about.
That's great.
This is so fun. So yeah, to help out with what I went to school with and know so well is easy, and get to talk to cool people.
Do you do a lot of events? Or is this kind of your first step into doing things like this?
No, this is our first mountain bike event.
Oh, okay.
So, and we've done triathlon events, we've done running events, all through Seattle, but this is the first mountain bike, and I was like, this is us. This is what we need to do.
That's so cool when you found what the molding, the meshing of your passions together.
Oh, yeah.
And just to introduce this stuff too, also to another crowd, it's like, I'm sure mountain bikers know that they can get this stuff done, but to have it on site is different, and I feel like it's just a better reach to people and people that, one of your passions, like you said, mountain biking, so getting it to that community, because you still need, I feel like sometimes in these kind of sports, people don't look at them as much of athletes, like on a sports team, and it's like, no, we still need to treat our body like that. Like when you're racing, it's different, but I feel like when you're out recreational or doing, not taking racing serious or something, or you don't treat yourself like an athlete as much as you would if you're on like a sports team. And it's like, no, we're all still athletes.
Yeah.
Bike riding, you're kind of in this box, right? Like your a lot of mobility is kind of poor, right? Because your hips never fully go into extension most of the times, and you're kind of hunched for long periods of time on the climb. Well, hopefully not hunched.
Yeah.
You're in that riding position that you're kind of stabilizing your body. So, it's I'd say almost argue that mountain bikers need it more.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. And so I think it's great you're here for people to realize that, like, I do need some movement in my body, because I don't know, it's just what we do for fun, right? So sometimes you don't take it serious and you like don't realize like what you're putting your body through, because like you're just like, it's a your fun activity, recreation.
Right. But you're out of breath at the end for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Sweating your ass off too on a day like today.
I don't know. Today was perfect.
It was. I would just sweat all the time. So I was like, even on my climb when it was not super hot out, I was pouring sweat. I fogged up my glasses for the first time, just because they're new glasses, so I hadn't worn them much yet. But I was like, whew, super glad it was not the original forecast. But well, awesome. It was so great to have you come and chat, and we're so excited you're here, and we're going to be sending people your way for sure.
Yeah.
Experience
Momentum. Yeah.
Love it.
Pretty good name. Right?
Yeah, totally. Good name. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and having a chat with us. You as well. Okay, hopefully our volume's a little bit better here. So we are here with Casey, right? It's me. Casey is a racer, and she just did the sport category. So, Casey, how many Sturdy Dirties have you done?
This is my second Sturdy Dirty this year.
How many races, like, in general?
I pretty much just do this race. I've done like 2 other races, but I'm not like big on racing, but I'm big on this race.
Yes, I love it. That's great to hear.
Absolutely, because we've talked about that. We've heard that just with this race. I mean, this was my first race ever, and I wanted it to be the Sturdy Dirty, and we keep getting that reaction from people is like, this is the race, like the best race to be your first race, and so many people like, this is just the only race that they really want to do. Yeah. So we were just talking before we recorded that prior years you did the expert category, and then so this year is just the sport. So why did you choose to do the sport instead of expert today?
Well, we did the expert a couple years ago because we'd never been up here, and we're like, let's just go see all the trails. Like, we can ride everything. We're not necessarily expert level riders, but we can ride any trail. So we're like, might as well just like ride all the trails we can while we're here. And this year we decided not to because we don't want to climb as much. So much easier. Yeah.
So what was the sport course this year?
What was
remember the trails?
No. The sport course, you climb to the top of what? You climb up to the tower.
Okay. Full CC DH.
Yep. And then you go do Poppin' Tops and Flow State is the finish. Which is so fun.
It's so fun. Because I had this idea when I went and pre-rode Wednesday that I was going to be like, well, this will be the deciding factor of whether I do sport or beginner. And then I did the beginner and was like, I'm going to do the light.
The D light.
Yeah, because I was like, well, the sport's just adding a bit to CCDH, but I've just been riding much more like flowy trails this year. And I was just, not equipped for that. But I was really excited and happy with this one that I want to do more Sturdy Dirties for sure. I was like, even if I only do the light, ever, because I'm not trying to win.
So, Casey, in Bend, Oregon, what else do you do in addition to mountain biking?
Like, what sports do I do? Well, how do I spend my life? I take my dogs on a lot of walks. My husband cooks me really good dinners.
Attaboy.
Love him. And I'm a strength and conditioning and a mountain biking coach. So I host women's mountain biking and yoga retreats all over Central Oregon. Strength training for women. So I just get to hang out with a lot of cool women, basically all the time. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's super cool because I think Amber just found you, or how did you decide to go up to Casey?
She and her friend were at the Smith booth, and I was like, hey, did you guys race? Hey, do you want to be on the podcast? And she said yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, I love that because I'm wondering like how much she knew before, which I figured.
I had no idea.
I figured that was
No
about.
idea.
So I'm a personal trainer.
Oh, sick.
And I have a lot of like, focus on women clients and stuff too. I don't have specific programs like just for biking or snowboarding or anything. Yeah. But I'm just like, yes, like the energy that is there. Like that's exactly what we're into is the strength conditioning, fitness, and just like women's events and things like that. I mean, our podcast we just had one of the guys from Experience Momentum over there. Yeah, he's a bike fitter. First man that's ever spoken on our podcast. But yeah, just women-centered and all that. So that's really cool. That happened to be that's what you do. So you're from Bend, Oregon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Bend, Oregon.
Do you ski? And in the winter, what do you do?
I'm finding my winter sport. I think it's gonna be cross-country type stuff.
Yeah.
That's where I'm gonna be, just like out there.
Yeah.
A lot of walking, snow walking.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I got into some cross-country skiing this year, too.
Yeah.
I've never skied. I'm a snowboarder, so the skiing part's hard, but I loved the cross-country. Just a good way to get the dogs out. And, yeah, we're out in a place that has a lot of room to roam, so...
Do you have platforms? Like where can the people find you?
Yes. Yeah, totally.
Instagram's the best place to find me, Casey M. Westbrook. I'm a strength and conditioning coach in Bend, Oregon. So you can find me out there. But yeah, Casey M. Westbrook on Instagram.
Awesome.
Do you have any retreats happening this summer or events coming up?
Yeah, we are going to be on the Mackenzie River in Central Oregon this October 5th through 8th. It is an absolutely magical, like super whimsical part of Oregon on the Mackenzie River. There's hot springs, like shuttling, skills, and some super amazing yoga. We bring our private chef in. It's so amazing. So just a few days for all of us to like fully disconnect and just be on the Mackenzie. Yeah.
That is so cool. That is one of my goals, is to get to a point of being able to host some retreats. I do paddleboard yoga, so that's kind of the route that I would do things, and I'd love to, just do some shit like that. So that's really cool that you're doing that. Do you have a website too?
I do. Casey M. Westbrook.
Okay, but Instagram's the best way. Yep, cool. Because we'll link that stuff in the show notes too, so people can find you. Because we've got, so I'm from Tahoe, so we've got a little audience in Tahoe, and then our Washington audience, and just like Northwest and stuff. So yeah, we'll definitely put you in the show notes and all that. Well, yeah, if there's anything you want to leave us with. Oh, wait, overall, how was your experience with the race? How did you feel today?
It was so good. Only one crash. Lots of fun. Had a pony. Had some chicken wings.
Pony? A real pony?
Ponies out there.
What?
There are 2 small horses.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I didn't make it that high.
That's why you get in sport and expert. You get to see the ponies.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of the draw.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
no sport next.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us, Casey.
All right, we're back again, live from the Sturdy Dirty, and we've got Brittany here. Brittany, how did your race go?
It went well, good stuff. I feel like I could have done better, but still had a great time.
What category did you race?
Enduro Light, the 30 to 39 age group.
Fuck yes. I've been calling it D-Light all day.
It's the best one. Yeah. It's so chill. You go up and then you just come down.
Totally. You take your time, get to hang out with the vibe. It's just immaculate. So Brittany, what do you do?
So I actually am a director for a day camp here in Renton.
Awesome.
And I go to school full time for Mercury.
Sweet. So will you be going for your master's, bachelor's?
Bachelor's.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so do you live in Renton?
Yes, so I live in Renton and I get to come out here to do raging quite often.
Sweet. Raging is amazing.
It's a good time.
And have you done the Sturdy Dirty before?
No. I used to work for the main sponsor, and so I would come out and help out. But this is my first time actually racing.
Nice. Congratulations. And totally different experience, hey?
It's a very different experience. Like, the nerves are very different.
Yeah. Yes. But then once it's all said and done, you're like, that was awesome, and I did it, and what's next?
Yeah, so I think next year it'll be stepping it up and going for the beginner class.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, next is just continuing on and gonna push myself a little bit more.
Nice, good on you. Yeah, it's a great place to be like, okay, I went here and I did this. What else is there?
Yeah, it's definitely a good start. Like, the vibes here make you feel really empowered. It's all women. Yeah. So you feel like really good about racing. You feel like everyone's got the camaraderie, everyone's cheering you on. Stoked that you even did it. Like, I tell people I did light, and I kind of feel like, oh, maybe I should have done better. But people are like, oh my god, that's awesome. Like, so stoked that you're doing it.
Yeah, you're here, you're doing it, and it's amazing. Generally, what kind of riding do you do?
I do typically do enduro, so this is my style of riding.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try out the bike park this season. I haven't done that yet, so.
Like at Snoqualmie?
Yeah. I'll be doing that in a couple weeks.
Nice.
Heading out up.
And when you do ride, what's your favorite few pieces of gear that you absolutely have to have with you?
Ooh, that is a very good question. I mean, I really like the sunglasses that I have. I think those are pretty solid.
They are solid.
So that works, and I'd say, good jersey.
Yes, breathable,
Super breathable.
Bright.
It's gotta be comfortable.
vacation style.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have the vibes. It makes your ride so much better. If you feel like a party, then you ride like a party.
Yes, I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today, and have fun riding Tiger tomorrow. Are you riding Tiger tomorrow, or was that somebody else?
I can't do Tiger.
Okay.
Oh, I'm blasted.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Brittany.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we're here with another guest. We've got Spike here, and she is an ambassador for Cosmic Dirt, and she's also a rider with a disability that often gets overlooked because it's not considered would you say, not in the
Full disability?
normal adaptive categories. You don't ride an adaptive bike, like quote-unquote adaptive bike. You ride a regular standing bike, so you don't qualify for a lot of these adaptive categories. And so we're going to hear from her on what it's like, kind of like being overlooked and not really finding a place to fit in.
Yeah, so this is my first time here at the Sturdy Dirty, and I have to say that I absolutely adore it. This place is amazing. The energy's amazing. But coming here, I have to compete against riders that are not disabled. And so for me, being on the climb, I'm always like, I'm super slow. I don't want to slow other people down. I tend to get really down on myself in the climb because it's really, really hard for me to do. And then just knowing that my own abilities, because half my body doesn't work correctly, means that I'm inevitably going to be slower, no matter what my skill level is, than the other people that I'm riding against. And so I always kind of feel like I'm at a disadvantage and would love to actually race some people that are of my own skill level or own kind of disability level, but a lot of places don't have an adaptive category, so I just come and compete and race because I love it. It's fun. I love the community. I love meeting new people and being out here and just finding new friends that I can go ride with or come and see at races. So there's so many benefits to being out here, and I just wish that there were more adaptive categories so riders like me can come and find a place and find a home and realize that they're worthy of inclusion in something like this.
Yes.
And that they have a place and that mountain biking is for them, because it took me so long to get to mountain biking, even living in Bellingham, because I never felt included and I never saw anybody that looked like myself biking. And I even had people that were like, no, biking is not for you. I went into so many bike shops and people just wouldn't look at me. They wouldn't help me. They were like, why are you here? And I went into the Transition shop to look at the repeater, and Transition was actually the first shop that actually treated me like I belonged there. And that and Aero Project, which is the Adaptive Inclusive Recreation of Whatcom County, got me my start last year in mountain biking. Transition helped me go to their women's weekend and get some real instruction from Angie Weston and Radical Roots, and we've just skyrocketed upward. And so Transition supporting inclusion of riders like myself is amazing, and we're here, we're staying, and we're gonna come shred with you guys, so you better be ready for us.
So ready.
Yes. Okay, so I was wondering, tell us what your disability is. Like, share with us, was it something you were born with? Was it after accident? So I did a little bit of work with High Fives in the past. And so, yeah, a lot of those athletes have spinal injuries, and they're riding the adaptive bikes or e-bikes, or, they're all different levels. But a lot of those athletes are getting those grants through them because it's something that happened through sport. So, tell us a little bit about what your disability is and how long, you've dealt with it and things like that.
All right, so I have multiple disabilities, actually. I'm autistic. I am chronically ill after having a brain tumor that caused Cushing's disease, which is an overproduction of the hormone of cortisol. Totally wrecked my body, and I have no adrenal glands now, so I don't make any stress hormones. And I'm still out here shredding it. And then I also have an undiagnosed neurological disorder that has basically shut down the right half of my body. It still works, but I have what's called foot drop, and so I have to wear a brace so that I don't trip over my foot. And then I have numbness, tingling, and just strength loss on the right side. So sometimes it's hard to balance and whatnot and use that right side just like everybody else would if I'm shifting, kind of over onto that side. But I'm at a point where I still can ride a typical bike right now. And so I'll probably transition to a three-wheeled, probably bowhead-ish type bike, but I'm hoping that's still a few more years down the road. And so being with my disabilities and having an undiagnosed neurological disability, there's no grant help out there for me. And it's the same with several of my other friends that want to ride, and they actually do need an adaptive bike, but they've got things like fibromyalgia, which is not covered under a lot of grants, and a lot of grants really just cover spinal cord and amputation and a very cerebral palsy and a very small number of disabilities, like Challenge Athletes Foundation and stuff. So there's a lot of us that just can't get grant funding, and if you're disabled, funds are always tight, so getting into the sport can be really difficult, and then getting instruction is really difficult because people either don't know how to instruct a rider with a disability, or you can't afford the instruction without assistance. Yeah. So that makes it also really hard to get into the sport, and you may be using old and outdated equipment. When I started, I was using someone's 20-year-old Klein Palomino. I love that bike. I still have it. And I went into one of the shops in Bellingham, and one of the maintenance techs looked at me and went, "That's not a bike, that's a bike-like object." What? And as someone who was just getting into the sport and really had no funds, that was a big blow to me mentally. Yeah. To basically be like, well, I guess I shouldn't be here. I'm riding a 20-year-old bike that still is functional, still gets me around the mountain, but
I feel like what you're talking about is there's these norms, there's these things that are within the community of mountain biking that it's if you don't have this, you don't fit in, but it's you work with what you got. across the board, whether it's like your old ass chamois from 4th grade or your brother's bike your mountain bike from 20 years ago. You work with what you got.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna mention that too. Like this sport and a lot of sports we participate in too, like skiing and snowboarding, are not. Yeah, they're not that inclusive when you consider classes and incomes and things like that. Like let alone if you're talking about just access overall. So access overall is very limited because it is. You don't think of biking as expensive because a lot of us, you know, we think of biking like when you're a child. You learn how to ride a bike, right? And you have this little bike from wherever. But when you get into more technical riding like mountain biking is and how much it's grown, the access is very limited to the good equipment. And then, when you come, if you want to race or things like that, or you want instruction, and people are like, I won't teach you if you have that bike. Like, you need a minimum of this and that for me to teach you, and if you can't, you have to rent it. And it's like, well, I can barely afford to be out here right now. And it just is something I don't feel like we grew up with, of thinking that like riding a bike was like that not everyone had access to that. Like, everyone should have access to riding a fucking bike, but mountain biking, and especially in racing or anything like that, is like, it's tough to break into. I mean, I didn't get my first full suspension bike until I was 30.
Yeah.
So, and that was with a finance plan. So, like, that's the only way I could do it, and that's still, you know, way out of other people's reach. So, having a disability and people look at you of like, oh, you can't do this or can't do that, like, that's just a whole nother level. And so talk to us about what is there that we could do for people in your shoes to create, to make more room and add like categories in, or what is it that like you guys, what is it that you need from the community?
So I think the biggest thing that we need from the community is people to recognize that we're here, and then to be open to thinking about how we can change things, even small things within the community. And when we're building trails, let's build trails that are accessible to everybody, that include e-bikes, that include bowheads, that include just whatever bikes people need to be on, so that people can just go out and ride, because everybody should have the right to outdoors and recreating in the outdoors. We also need to start changing the attitude that having expensive equipment doesn't make you a great rider, and it doesn't make you a great person. And the bike that you're riding, you know, like, it gets you down the hill. And let's start trying to figure out how to get these bikes into the hands of the people that need it, because a lot of people with disabilities, this is a great form of exercise. I have watched my walking ability and my strength has become so much better over the last year from biking. I've watched a lot of the kids that I coach with the Aero Project. We have something called Riding for Focus, which focuses on the neurodivergent kids in our community, a lot of autistic kids. We have a kid with Down syndrome in there, and just watching them grow through the program has really shown me that biking is for everyone. And we may have to do these little tweaks to get someone onto a bike and get them out there, but it's something that could be accessible to everybody, especially in Bellingham with so many gravel trails everywhere, with Galbraith. You know, we just need to get the equipment into the hands of people and get them out riding, get them proper instruction with people that want to teach them, that want to deal with someone with a disability. I know it can be hard. You have to sometimes change how you do things. You have to be open to feedback and criticism. And, you know, if I say I'm sitting here at the Sturdy Dirty and the closest porta potty is way up the hill, and I have a physical disability that makes it hard for me to walk, that could be a long distance for me to go to the bathroom, especially after racing. If there's someone here, like I have a friend who uses a chair, if they wanted to come and watch me race and then use the facilities, there's nothing accessible for them here. There's no accessible toilet even the portable toilets are not, we don't have a bigger accessible stall. So really thinking about that, and just because you haven't seen us here doesn't mean we don't want to be here.
Yes.
It generally means your event was not accessible to us. That's why we're not here. It's not that we don't want to be here shredding it with all you guys. So think about accessibility from everything from your marketing materials, and think about even the posters that you're putting out, and think about people that are blind, low vision. Are you using contrast in those materials? Can someone who uses a screen reader read your materials? And thinking about even just the basics of a website, and is that accessible? Are you adding the verbal or the written descriptions to your photos, the alt text to your photos, so that someone who's blind or visually impaired can understand what's going on with what you're doing? Because tandem bikes exist, guides exist. Blind and visually impaired people could be out here riding, but it's just that we've made it inaccessible for them to be out here. So, and I think too, getting involved in any programs in your area that work with disabled people, so that you start to understand our needs and our wants and our desires, and realizing that we're people too. And a lot of people will say, like, oh, we have special needs. No, we don't have special needs. Our needs are just like everybody else's needs. We have needs. We want friends. We want to be loved. We want to be out here, be a part of the community. We have ideas. We have ways of making this better. Let us come and help you make this sport better. But you have to want us to be here, and you have to make us feel like we're wanted here. And
that was so beautiful. You gave me goosebumps.
So, do you have, we have an audience based in Washington and in Tahoe, and then, whoever else, hopefully other places, but do you have, a national organization or some place that people could look to, or how they would find a local, who to work with in their local community that does these things, that puts them in touch, or how they can get involved in their community? Who would they look up? What would they type into Google?
So if you want to find local programs in your area, the first and probably best place to start with is your local Parks and Recreation Department, because if they're not doing the adaptive programming, they most likely know who is in your town. Same with the YMCA. Just about every town has a YMCA. If they're not doing the adaptive programming, they probably know who is. You can look to your local ski hills. Like here in Washington, we've got Snoqualmie, we've got Stevens, we've got Crystal, we've got Whistler, that are all have thriving programs. Mount Baker, get your game on. I want to see you guys go. You can also contact Lighthouse for the Blind, National Association for the Deaf, if those are populations you're interested in working with, Challenge Athletes Foundation, High Five. I know Colorado has a giant adaptive sports center there. You can also contact local rehab hospitals in your area if you have one. So outside Denver, there's Craig Rehab Hospital, and a lot of those places will know where the programs are. I know here in Washington, Harborview has a rehab hospital, so a lot of times they'll know programs that you can go to. So there's a lot of resources out there, and if you're just interested in adaptive recreation, just type in adaptive recreation in Google and your location, and a lot of times something will pop up, but a lot of times something won't pop up, and that's because there's nothing in your area. And if there's nothing in your area, let's get stuff rolling, because we all deserve access to play, we deserve access to recreation, and the more we play together, the more we realize we are so much more common than we are different. And just because I experience the world as a disabled person in a different way, and I move through it in a different way, does not mean that I'm less valuable to the community and that I need to be somewhere else, or that I don't deserve access to the outside or to recreation or to whatever it is. Just means we have to figure out how to get that to me in a different way.
Exactly, and include all peoples.
Everybody.
All bodies.
All bodies. Everybody deserves to be out here playing together. And I really think that this is how we start to really bring everybody and value everybody in our community into a state where they're all contributing, because everybody has something to contribute.
Yes, everyone.
Awesome. That is amazing, and so just, we're all humans, as Amber always says. We're all humans, just trying to be fucking human, and it's really hard to be a human. And
so hard.
A lot of us do experience the world in a much different way that isn't talked about, and we can't understand, because of the segregation in there. You don't have access to it. So I don't know what your hardships are, because we're not in the same realm, but we should be in the same realm.
Yep.
There should be access for everybody. I'll shout out Achieve Tahoe, just because I know that's a local community resource to where I'm at, and I don't know how much they do with biking, but I know a lot in the winter with Palisades. So there are resources, like you said. If you look something up, if you type that in and nothing's popping up around you, then that's a good sign to take some initiative there and reach out to Spike, I would say, for sure. And she might be able to help you get something started in your community. So tell the people where to find you, or where to find the organizations that you work with, and whatever you're affiliated with, just really anything you want to shout out now. Tell us where to find you.
Yeah, probably the best way to find me is through the Arrow Project, and that's AIROW, which is Adaptive Inclusive Recreation of Whatcom County. And we're a fairly new program that started in the last year. It was started by April Katz, and we really are focusing on recreation for people with disabilities, and we do things from rock climbing and swimming and kayaking, hiking. Biking has been our main focus, but we're just really all about inclusion, and a lot of our programs that are not solely disability focused are community-based programs that invite everybody out to participate, whether you have a disability, you don't have a disability. We just want to start building that community between people that are disabled and non-disabled, and just get everybody recreating together. So, reach out to the Arrow Project, especially if you're interested in doing something in your own community. Maybe we can help you try to figure out how to get started.
Where to start.
And I'm also a grad student at Western right now, and then I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing after
You're
this.
crushing it. And I just gotta say, thank you so much for approaching us. You came to us, you're like, hey, I see you're doing a podcast, and I have some things I need to talk about. And I just gotta say, so many times you gave me goosebumps with all the things you had to say. So keep up the good work, sister, and be present in your community, because you matter. Everybody matters, and everybody deserves to move.
Thank you
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me on here. I love this. This was great. Let's do it again.
Yes. We would love to continue these conversations. These mini talks are awesome, but we definitely want to talk more with you, especially where we can have more sound control of what's happening. So we're hoping we're getting the message out to people now and a little introduction, but we definitely want to reach out and have a longer conversation for sure.
We'll Zoom you.
Thank you so much, Spike, and just cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
What category? What did you do today? What race category did you do?
I did the Enduro Light, and that was my first Enduro ever, and it was awesome. I'm stoked, and I'm ready to do this again. Not the climb. Let's not do the climb again, but let's do the downhill.
Yes. All right.
Crush it, Spike.
Thank you, Spike. We hope to talk to you again very soon. So we will link some of your handles and how to find you and stuff, too, in the show notes, and we will reach out for more for sure. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed this episode and would do us a huge favor, since we don't have any sponsors or anything like that, and would rate and review us on whatever platform it is you use, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, whatever it is. And if you're listening and downloading just through the website, tearingituppodcast.com, leave comments. We'll definitely engage back with you. And on social media right now, we're just on Instagram. Tearing It Up Podcast is the handle. Like the post, share the post, comment on the post, whatever it is you got. Show us your love so we just stay relevant and show up in the rankings at all. So again, rate and review, please.
and we'll see you next time. Thanks!